What's going on, Blue Crew? I'm finally back with another video. Sorry it's taking me so long to bring one, but there's a lot happening in the world and in my country right now, so things have got a little mixed up. I bring you this new build to help you with the new Takedown that's coming out, and I really hope it helps. Without any further ado, let's get into it, guys. Okay guys, let's get straight into the build. So the first thing I have is going to be this OPQ system. It has 300% extra damage while above 90% health. This gun is my single target damaging gun. It is going to be a monster when it comes to single target because it has that shock chance, and this build mostly revolves around shock. So even if you look at my skills, if you look at my skin, my everything, they're all blue to represent that this is a shock build. It's a shock build because the new takedown we're going to get is a Guardian takedown. We're going to need a lot of shock, and we're going to need some armor, something to get rid of armor too. That's why I have this reflux. I have this reflux for multiple reasons. One, because I found one that had that extra shock damage added to it on top of the reflux, so I pretty much made it a upgraded version of the redistributor. Plus I have so much shock damage in the actual build. This is the weapon I use most of the time for mobbing. I use it on radiation because it just blows everything away, and I do have extra cryo and extra radiation damage in my build. Yellow cake, extra radiation damage, 300% over 90. Yellow cake, you can't beat it, it's yellow cake. Next up guys, we have this old god with even more shock damage. So it gives me 20% shock damage on the card. You guys have definitely seen me use this one before. It has an anointment, it gives me extra shock damage. So that plays with this reflux here, it gives me more shock damage on top of that, and the OPQ system because we know it does shock damage also. So it just makes my shock damage incredible, and it makes it ready for the new takedown. A lot of shock damage, a lot of corrosive damage. With these two again, the radiation and the cryo, here's where I touch the cryo with the surge. The surge is not the end-all grenade. You can definitely change the grenade. I have it for the anointment only, to be honest with you. That is the reason that I am using the surge. Next we have the elemental projector or victory rush. This is a great find because it has that radiation damage to increase my yellow cake and my redistributor. It has that ignite chance, and it has more shock damage. So my total shock damage is crazy. I have a driver, it's only level 50, but it gives me that weapon damage, action skill cooldown, and it gives me shotgun damage. And with me using the reflux and me using the recursion constantly, it's perfect. Like everything synergizes so well, and I'm so happy how well it came together. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you some footage of me actually using this build. Doing our current takedown, which does have a lot of shock and a lot of armor. Not as much as the Guardian takedown is going to have, but as you can see, shock, armor, health, it does not matter. This recursion alone could probably do the whole takedown. It's not very good at single targets. Without single targets, the recursion is not very efficient. Same thing with the reflux, however you want to say the name. It is a really good gun, but in certain circumstances, the OPQ system or the yellow cake would be the better choice. What you're going to see me trying to do most of the time is group as many enemies as I can because I get those ricochets that do even more damage. One of the reasons that all my ricochets do so much damage is because I'm using so many different elements. That's why you see me fake grasp. Because I'm fake grasping at air, that way I get cryo damage, I get shock damage, I get extra radiation damage, I get all these extra damages, and the more damages I have, the more, I guess you could call them projectiles, more projectiles that come out of my recursion after they ricochet. So that is really nice. I'm actually going to show you guys a clip on the bridge where my ricochets just go crazy here in a second. But as long as I have multiple enemies, they're dead. If you're doing anything other than takedown, honestly the OPQ system is probably going to be your best go-to. It destroys single targets. It can kill bosses. I've killed Trump with it multiple times. But just in case you have somebody you can't kill with it, I do have that yellow cake in here also. And you know, the yellow cake is the yellow cake. There's nothing else to be said about it, honestly. The main thing I wanted to show you with this clip was when I have all three of the Valkyries down, just how well it works. You'd think it only works against mobs, but it actually works well against bosses if there are multiple bosses or multiple enemies in a room with the boss. You can kill them a lot faster like this. Again, that's me trying to preserve and make sure that I keep as many of them alive as I can. It looks like I can't progress until I kill them, so I'll just go ahead and wipe them out. And see, that was all from my recursion. And then I shoot here, bounce, bounce, dead. Really nice. Okay, let's go to the mythical assault tree. Okay guys, going right into the mythical assault tree. I have 2 points into do harm, 3 points into fast hands, 1 point into clarity, 3 in transcend, 5 in restless, 1 into ascendant, 3 into from rest for that extra charge time for the recursion. Also, I have laid bare and wrath for that extra damage, remnant because I love to have remnant in my builds, guys, you know that, and avatar. Okay guys, here's that bridge clip I was telling you about. It is just ridiculous how many projectiles spawn while I'm doing this. And just how fast they kill everything on the map. As long as you fake grasp to get all your extra bonuses and then you attack them, it's not a problem. Even if you grab them and just attack them normally, because ties that bind, the way the ties that bind works, you'll still get crazy damage. Like you see all those? That was from one shot. And they just spawn indefinitely until pretty much everything is wiped out. While I'm thinking about it, if you guys, the reason I stopped doing Borderlands content is because I did get a little burnt out there for a second, and I wasn't really sure what to do next because the meta is kind of really tough to do anything but the meta. So if you guys have builds or crazy ideas you want to see me do or anything like that, please leave it in the comments so I can start having more content for you guys and more fun for myself also, you know. Because I love making builds, but I want to be more versatile with builds, and it's kind of hard to do when the game only allows you to play with so many guns. That's why I was trying to wait for the Guardian Takedown before I actually started doing anything like that. One other idea I think I'm going to start doing, I think Killer 6 doing it, and I think it's a really fun idea where we can engage each other well, guys. I'm gonna stream either Zane or Flak from level 1, play with only one weapon, like a shotgun, a rocket launcher, pistols, only one type of weapon. Max it out to 57. After I max them to max level, you guys telling me what you want me to use on stream and everything, I'm gonna do that Race to Wotan challenge that I think Moxie has out right now. I don't want to do it with one of the characters that I have. I understand them very well. I want to do it with somebody that I have to learn completely new. I think it'll be more fun for everybody that way, honestly. So I think we're going to do that. If that sounds like something you guys would be interested in watching, please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to come up with new ideas to keep growing, to keep doing this, because I love doing this, honestly. I love engaging you guys. I love making videos. I love the whole thing. As you can see, the recursion is a beast when it comes to Wotan. I did switch up to the yellow kick a couple times because I wasn't sure if he was going to spawn any more enemies, and it doesn't work well if I don't have multiple enemies there. Like as you can see now, I had all those enemies and I just shoot and they disappear. I do think I end this with the recursion, but for most of the time I'm going to be using the yellow cake just to get his health down. And this is not a yellow cake specific build, to be honest with you at all. I just have it because of how strong it is on base. Excuse me. As you can see, he's going to split. I tried to catch him right while he was splitting, but I couldn't hit him the way I wanted to finish that. If you catch it at the right time, you can make him bounce off of the two parts of Wotan and kill him almost instantaneously. It's really nice when it happens. But right here you'll see, still take that part down really fast. It takes me a little bit longer to take down this part, honestly, because I didn't have anything to bounce bullets off of. So I had to go back to my yellow cake. Again, you don't have to use the yellow cake either. You could use any other heavy weapon or weapon that does a lot of damage. The back burner, the ion cannon, anything that's gonna do a lot of damage really fast. I tried other things, but this seemed to be the easiest one, so I stuck with it. As you can see, it's not like it's doing incredible damage, honestly. The biggest problem was getting more enemies around him so I could actually do major damage. For some reason, I didn't see him summon. I guess I did it too fast. He didn't summon the Krakens or any of those guys. If I would have given him a little bit more time, it would have made this easier for me if I gave him time to spawn those guys. But see, with that enemy there, I'm going to go ahead and try to end this with my recursion. Luckily, he was close enough that I was able to do it, and boom. There it is, guys. Okay, guys, Fist of the Elements tree. So what we're going to be doing next. 5 points into Anima, 3 points into Steady Hands, 2 into Infusion. Infusion is, I had to get Infusion to go farther down the tree. It does give me more shock damage because I am using shock as my element. So it helps, but it hurts at the same time. I think I'm getting more from the shock than I am taking away. Tempest with 5 points for more shock damage and that elemental damage period. Dread, so I don't have to reload if I don't need to, hopefully. Deep Well for larger magazine size. Indiscriminate, which is very important in this build. It works great with the recursion. It works great with the reflux because it gives me more chance to proc more of those ricochets. That's the only way I know how to call it. Sustainment, 4 out of 5 points for that lifesteal, my main lifestealing ability. If you don't want that point into conflux that I'm going to go over next, you can put another point into sustainment. But that point into conflux is very important to me. The point in conflux is important to me because I get the electrocute, ignite, or melt chance if I do actually any kind of damage, and I'm always doing elemental damage because I'm AMARA and she's elemental powerhouse. I have that point into forceful expression also. But the reason that I have that point into conflux is because of Armageddon. Enemies take 5% more damage per unique status effect affecting them. And that with conflux is what gives me a lot of extra damage, and it just makes it so much better to me. Well guys, that is the end of this video. If I didn't say it earlier, I want to make sure I say it now. Black lives do matter. My life matters. My family lives matters. Everybody's lives matter. But right now we're having a problem in America where we need to fix it. I am not some politician or somebody who's going to get on a soapbox, but our lives do matter also. Thank everybody who's supporting us. That's the end of the video. Blue Crew, as always, stay medicated, stay elevated. Peace.